Welcome to machine learning. Feature selection, LASSO. Okay, so remember, we're trying to navigate ourselves through a feature space that has P predictors in it. And these feature space is all the features in the data that can help us predict our outcome Y. So we want to find the features that best explain this outcome Y. P-values is one approach that we used, and they're based off hypothesis testing. But the p-value has a problem in the sense that it's looking at each of the features separately. But what if we could do all of the feature information together into a single approach? So that's what LASSO is going to try to do. It's going to try to do, boom, this is it. This is the answer. These are the significant ones. Now what it does is it bases itself off of least squares. And some variants of it. But LASSO works in lots of cases. For regression, linear regression, we would solve the following problem. We're going to minimize our sums of squares error by changing beta 0. Remember, the data, yi, xi, are already observed, so those are numbers. So we're going to change the betas, find the best betas that fit this, that get us closest between the line and the data. And I know this is a hyperplane, but I'm going to say the line and the data so that you can easily visualize it. And it's a single value. Once we do this, we're going to get a number. And that's much easier to look at than each individual beta value. Okay. So LASSO takes and penalizes this. Okay. And basically what it does is it adds a penalty onto the end. You can see lambda sum from j to p of beta j squared. Now, lambda controls how strong the penalty is, and we can play with this a little bit when we go over to Python. But if beta is near 0, beta j is near 0, then this approach will push beta j to equal 0, since it doesn't really contribute to changing the line to be closer to the data. So even though the coefficient might be high, if the variable is not significant in the sense of it doesn't move the data or the line closer to the data, it'll just be pushed to 0 in order to minimize it with this extra penalty. So that's the idea here behind it. You put a penalty on it for the betas, and it will push any beta away that is not causing the regression to be closer to the data. All right, now this is going to be extremely important. In order to use LASSO, the regression parameters need to have standardized variables in them, okay? So you're going to have to standardize the variables so that all the variables are kind of on the same scale. If they're all about on the same scale, meaning the standard deviation scale, which is what the coefficients will be on then, right? It'll be for one standard deviation increase in x, we expect a such and such standard deviation in y, beta 0 or beta 1 standard deviation increase in y. Now, since they're all on the standard deviation scale and they all have a standard deviation of 1, they can be easily compared to each other. So we're just going to run this. It's going to give us regression parameters, and you will see the regression parameters will either be exactly 0 or so close to 0 that you know that those are the ones that you need to omit. Okay, but this also depends on the value of lambda. We're going to be using the Boston Housing dataset again because as we go through this, it's easier to understand and compare across the methods if we're looking at the same dataset. So let's jump over to Python and import the Boston Housing dataset. All right, so we're in Python now. Here we're going to use our pandas again, but this time we're going to use scikit-learn, linear model, and we're going to import LASSO. So we're going to bring LASSO in so that we can use it. It's a function already there. You don't have to do this. We're also going to use from scikit-learn pre-processing, we're going to import standard scalar. So that will take and standardize all of our variables. So this is going to be our approach. Make sure that your working directory is correct. Remember, last video I did not do that and it produced an error. So we don't want to have errors in our code or errors in it's not in our code, it's just our analysis won't work. So I'm going to run this. It brought in our data. Our data looks fine. It's the right dimensions. So here, remember, we had NAs in the data the last time, so we're going to get rid of those. And that's going to give us another data set that is much smaller. We're going to peel out, again, the variables here that we want for the regression, just like we did before. Here, median value is our response. So I'm going to pull that off as Y0, and the rest of it is our X0. Now here I'm going to initialize standard scalars. So this is going to be able to do our standardization all at once for the values in X. Some people will do this before they peel the data off, but in this case we have NAs anyway, so we're going to have to get rid of them. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually use that Z transform on Y's, just so you can see it here. Okay, so you can see Y0 minus Y0 mean, that's the mean of it, divided by Y0 STD, so the standard deviation. So I'm going to run this. This is going to give me my scaled outcome, which is what's going to go in my lasso. And then I'm going to do scalar.fit underscore transform, and that will scale all of our X variables to standard normal, or won't be standard normal, but they'll be standardized with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. Okay, now that we've done this, we can actually start using lasso. Now I'm going to create model here, and it's going to be lasso, and here is where you're going to put in lambda. I wrote it as lambda. Most of the literature has lambda. However, scikit-learn decided they need to be different and call it alpha. But I didn't want to call it alpha because we are using alpha when we're doing the p-values, and I thought that would just confuse everybody. So this is the penalty function right here. All I need to do is run these two. Here we're going to fit it using X scaled and Y scaled, X variables, Y variables, and we will see what happens. So run this. Notice it just says lasso, it made something. Here's where we can see the output. Print the coefficients. And unfortunately, it's going to be really small over here. But you can see that it threw a lot of things away. Okay? Threw a lot of things away. You can see 0, 0, 0. Then there's a number. Another 0, a number. Whole bunch of zeros and then numbers. So what we need to do is we need to decode this so we can find out which ones are the correct ones. So what I'm going to do to make this a little bit easier on my eyes is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it over here so I can see it. Okay, that's my goal here, is to copy and paste this over so that I can see it. And now that I can see it, I can start comparing it against the names of the columns. And I think I can print out the column names by using here, print. You're going to put in here our model or our data 0, and then columns, and I think this will do it. I might not need the extra parentheses on it. Okay, it doesn't like the extra parentheses. This should do it. There they are. See, sometimes you just have to try something, and then you're wrong, but it's okay. You tried, and that's what I try to do, is show you that some of us make mistakes as well. I'm going to take this index off, okay, and I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm just going to comment it out as well. And then we have object here at the bottom. It doesn't matter to us. So now we can see what's significant. Is CRIM significant? No. ZN significant? No. Industrial significant? No, because all of these are 0 or whatever a negative 0 is. Okay? So all of those would be thrown out. Then we have here Chaz. Okay? And it has a coefficient. But boy, is that coefficient near 0. But we're going to let it go. So we'd say Chaz is okay. Knox is out. RM is out. Age is out. Distance is out. Okay? The last two are the only ones, well, this not the last two because this is our response. LSTAT and B are in. That's using the alpha that we have here. So if we were to try to determine this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We would put down here, Chaz is successful. And then we have, what was it? There's only 2 more, which are the last 2. B and L stat are the only ones that this thinks are significant. Okay? So that's very different than the p-value approach, by the way. The p-value approach had a bunch of them in there. Okay? This one does not have as many in there. But the other thing you should do is play around with what lambda does. This is how much the additional penalty is on there. What happens if I make it a small number? Let's suppose that I go 0.05. Will I get the same answer? And that's what you should pay attention to. Do I get the same answer? How sensitive it is to it? So I'm going to run this again, and you will see that, wait, more things pop up. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's more variables here that are significant than in our other one. Okay? So the answer changes. I'm not going to decode this for you. I'm going to let you decode this. But it changes depending on how much penalty you're putting on here. This is less of a penalty because it's a smaller number. What happens if I put a bigger penalty? Do I get the same answer? And you can probably guess, no, I'm not going to get the same answer. If I put that, I only get 2 things as being significant. So it does depend on the penalty. And that's lambda, that penalty parameter. So when you choose the value of that, you need to choose it very, very carefully. And there's a whole bunch of rules on how to do that, which I'm not going to go over. Often what people will do is they'll do a range of values and try to find the one that sort of minimizes the MSE or minimizes the across the entire thing. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just showing you, hey, this is basically how LASSO works. And what the output looks like and how to interpret it. All right, so now that we've done this, we have 2 things under our belt. We can do p-values, we can do LASSO, and the next time we're going to be looking at predictive performance approach. And I will see you there.